And welcome back to Mantasy Fantasy Football, y'all. We have retiree, aka the Suck Zone, with us, about to lose his shit because he's about to lose the game potentially, but Derrick Henry brought him back. And we have Mike Dicka. How you two gentlemen feeling tonight?
Give me the suck.
I feel pretty good because looks like I'm gonna have a bounce back victory. So
Okay. Well, Suck, what you got for us this week?
Well, as you said, Derrick Henry just went off after last week. I was scared that I had made the wrong number one choice, but he sure made me believe again with 182 yards, 3 tutties, and he's actually part of the receiving game. He had 6 receptions for 55 yards. For a whopping 46 points out of the horse dong Henry, and most notably Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford going off with each other last 2 weeks. Cooper Kupp went 9 for 11 for 163 yards and 2 tutties. Looks like Cooper Kupp is now the new number one instead of Bobby Trees in LA.
We're going to play a fun little game right now between you gents. Who is the first non-quarterback? Who is the highest ranked non-quarterback right now?
Bob Gronkowski.
Yeah, I would say Gronk too, I think.
No,
I
it's
think
Henry.
There's several people in the high
It's Derrick
20s.
Henry, 55.9 points, followed by Tyler Lockett, 55.8.
Okay,
Oh, that's right.
And then
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp.
Almost all of his points is in 1 week.
Yep, and he's going to be quite far up there. Looking down the list to see if there... Rob Gronkowski is number 16 right now, which is kind of wild to think about.
It sounds like he just catches touchdowns, and it's like...
Yeah, how much can that stand? Like Bailey was surprised last week when
he gets like 30 or 40 yards and then like 18 touchdowns on top of those. It's just,
I mean, if they're gonna score 5 a game, he might get one of them.
Yeah, I mean at this point.
True.
All right, let's take it back into time. We're going back to 2010 with you gentlemen, and we're gonna ask you guys a couple of questions. First question: what do you think this player's record was this season? For this owner with this team, what do you think their record was? How many wins? How many wins?
I'm gonna go with 9 wins and 4 losses
Why do you say so specific, Justin?
because this was my team, and I started out 9-0, lost 4 consecutive games, and then I went on to win the championship.
Can we just take a second to look at this team and think this was a championship team one year? That's amazing.
Someone sounds jealous.
I mean, you got Rashard Mendenhall, which I don't even remember him being a starting running back for Pittsburgh. Darren McFadden had some time. Tim Hightower didn't. Greg Jennings was great. But, good times back in the old days. You had Matt Ryan when he was pretty much a rookie at that point. Quite a wild ride to be a winning team.
Rex Grossman, though, that backup QB. Look at all those backup QBs. Eli Manning, Matt Schaub.
Yeah, you would always load your quarterbacks in the last game, though. You drop everybody else.
For the tiebreaker.
and don't forget about we have the Golden Graham at the very bottom.
Ooh, Shane Graham. Look at the amount of points that Matt Schaub had, though, huh? All right, Dicka, let's get into your predictions for this week.
All right, so the first week, I believe I'm going to finish 3-2. That is if the projections hold and Jeff Carr comes back and beats the suck zone. So the game of the week that I called last week, it looks like it's going to go down to be the game of the week because it's going to come down to the wire at the end of the game. It's like it's going to be 3-2, but for next week's games, this one I thought was going to be the game of the week with Ditka versus Steve because I believe that those two teams were going to be the best. Last year, they were the 2 best teams, but Steve ended up winning the championship. I think that Steve has a little bit of a regression right now. It's going to be 125.86 to 116.54. Nobody likes Steve anyway. That's right. His name is Steve.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. After seeing Deontay Johnson potentially go down and San Francisco not playing well, if Steve doesn't really have McCaffrey or Hill go off, Steve is on a struggle bus right now. He's kind of relying on Josh Jacobs to be that X factor, and he was out this week, so it's going to be an interesting time for Steve.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about. I don't look at any games. I don't watch any players. I just put the numbers on the board. All right, the second game is Team Iceland versus Grandma's boy himself, Mr. Jeff Hedges. I would consider it to be an upset over Jeff Hedges this past week, as long as TJ Hawkinson doesn't score 30 points. If he does, I'll probably retire with James as well, and we'll go play some rounds of golf, and I'll never play fantasy again. But for week 3, BJ's team looks like it's on the struggle bus right now. He lucked out in week 1. Don't know who's on his team. Don't know who's on Hedges' team. But we're going to go with Hedges 118.7 to 94 and some change.
All right. Well, just to give some people some perspective of who's on BJ's team, he's got Najee Harris, Dak Prescott, Devontae Adams, Robert Woods, Michael Thomas on the bench, and his keeper was James Robinson, which is really hurting him.
All right, for the next one, we've got Dave Bailey versus Nicholas Dave. The question is can Dave, local fat kid, keep it up? He's won 2 games in a row. This has got to be his best start since 2008. 2-0 already on the year. I mean, it's like he's turned the clock back. He got his penis chopped off last week. That's also turning the clock back because now it's about the size of it was back in 2008. So he's got that going for him. But I think that Dave Bailey's going to get a rebound victory here, and local fat kid Dave Pemberton himself is going to he's going to have his first loss of the season. Again, don't know any of the players on any of these teams, but that's what it's going to be.
Speaking of your analysis, Justin, we have to confirm the nickname. Is Dickless Dave an official thing? We're making it right now. Are we all in?
Only if he gets his own card. We need a new card on this slide.
We can make that happen. Absolutely. Now, do you think you're making it sound like there's some Dick regression back to 2008?
Just noticed something. Dave Bailey's team name is Full Chubb. I don't know if he did that on purpose. I think he had that last week, but I might have to switch this one to the game of the week.
Ooh. Is that official?
No, it's not official.
Not official.
Let's keep going.
Keep on going.
All right, this one sucks because the slide is off to the side, so I apologize. The production crew didn't do a very good job with this one.
By production crew, you mean yourself?
That's me. We've got you two here. So before I make my own prediction, what do you two think's going to happen?
I'm going to smash Dong into freaking oblivion.
Henry Dong will carry my team to a close victory by 2 points.
I think the suck zone he's definitely starting to play better here with Dong himself. Think that it's going to come down to Scary Terry versus we're going to go CeeDee Lamb because he's got the primetime game versus the Eagles, and it's going to be a close one, but James is going to get the victory by about 6. All right, and then we got the game of the week. Reason we went with this one as the game of the week is because it's Jeff Carr, who might be 0-2 after this week, and all of a sudden is going to be sliding right back to the Turd Bowl versus the guy that everybody loves to hate. He's at a concert tonight. Congratulations. Congratulations to him to getting out of town, getting out of the house. Who's on this team? I have no idea.
Lawson has actually probably been one of the most consistent players so far this season. Lawson has Tom Brady, Ezekiel Elliott, and David Montgomery. Adam Thielen's been on a good track right now, and T. Higgins seems like kind of nice, solid 7 targets per month. Meanwhile, you got G-Hoff Carr. His team has Aaron Rodgers, which already has a tutty tonight, $69 Elijah Mitchell in the entire backfield that's San Francisco, Antonio Gibson, and our little Cooper Kupp and Travis Kelce.
We're going to go with Jeff Carr on this one, and they play the 49ers Sunday Night Football, primetime. You know how much we love to watch games against Adam Lawson in primetime. We're going to say that Aaron Rodgers scores a 2-point conversion at the end of the game to win by 0.1.
0.1 it is. All right, we're changing it up a little bit, but last week we had Sutton versus Jamar Chase, and Sutton, great pick from Ditka. Congratulations on your first win. It's not over yet. Whoever has the most wins at the end of the year, reminder, gets the Mantasy Masters trophy, which is either a Jordy Nelson jersey or a Jordy Nelson helmet, up to you. But I wanted to get in on this, so we're having a little parlay side bet each week for whoever has the least amount of points out of their guests has to eat the bomb hot sauce from Hot Ones. So we'll do that at the beginning of the show, so you'll be able to hear somebody struggling to speak while doing this. So we'll show that reaction and then get into the show. So for this week, started off, Ditka, why did you choose Daniel Jones?
Pick Daniel Jones because he is actually right now the number 5 quarterback. That's right. He's on the waivers. He is the number 5 quarterback in the league after the first 2 weeks. The Giants offense may not be that great, but they're playing the Falcons this week, and the Bucks just torched them in the previous game. I think Daniel Jones continues his ways, maybe scores a couple of rushing touchdowns, and he's going to get a top 10. Surprising that nobody's picked him up yet. I might pick him up this week. I need a backup QB.
How much you want to spend on him?
$58.
Sounds like a starter to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked Kirk Cousins. He is playing Seattle this week, and Kirk has been really consistent. And on top of that, he's bringing a third wide receiver to life. The only thing I'm scared about is Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, though, has been scary so far this season. He keeps going down like every other play, so you don't know what's going on. So that's kind of terrifying for Jeff Hedges. So that's why I picked Kirk Cousins. James?
I went with Big Teddy B for the Broncos. Actually, a really great start for the Broncos. As mediocre of a team as they are, they're actually 2-0 off the rip. And then they showed us last week that Teddy B's not fucking around. He's passing to Cortland Sutton all the time. I think that combination had like 170 yards. And they also play the Jets next weekend. So it looks like it's going to be a great weekend for Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater, got it. So, does that mean that you're going to start Sutton this week?
There is a very good possibility that I will put him in my flex after I question myself for about 48 hours from Tuesday to Thursday.
All right on, gents. Let's get into what the bomb is. So this is what we'll be doing next week for whoever has the lowest amount of points.
Real territory here.
This was articulate right out of the gate.
Kansas don't know how to do no hot wings.
What the?
Oh, shit.
Really?
Yeah. I feel it.
Did you feel heat?
I think I singed my eyebrow with that. Shit. I'm now fucking crying over fucking wings.
So that is what we're going to be doing next week, which I'm very excited for, to see one of you two fools down a chip with that Da Bomb hot sauce. We all ordered it. It will be here for next Monday's show. So let's get into another segment of a Would You Rather. So this is a debate between two things. So would you, Ditka, and would you, James, rather go undefeated all season, but you lose in the Fox? Or have the lowest point total in league history, but somehow win the Fox?
Win the Fox.
James is going with win the
Yeah,
Fox.
it's got to always be win the Fox.
I mean, that's the thing we play for.
I would totally agree. What would make you guys change your mind? Like, let's say you get to the play. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what situation would you make it where, let's take the Fox out of contention, like go undefeated or make it to the playoffs. Let's say go undefeated and you lose in the Fox, or have the lowest score and somehow go really far into the Fox.
No, I don't want any of those things. I want to win the Fox.
Oh, I get that. But what I'm saying is, let's say you go undefeated, you go all the way, you get to the Fox, and then you lose. Or would you rather have a season where you kind of get lucky and you get to the playoffs?
I've got a scenario.
Hit me with it.
I would be okay with it. So it would have to be like year 100 of of the league. And at this point, I've won 46 championships, and I'm the GOAT. And I'm the greatest of all time. But no one's ever gone undefeated. And on top of that, I've made a bet with Adam Lawson. And if I go undefeated, then he has to run the 5 KFC challenge at Harbin Park dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire. That is the only way I would be okay with the first scenario.
So can we do this 1 decade from now? Is this a decade bet later? And oh my God, in 2031, never thought I would say that phrase. Are you putting a bet proposal out for Adam Lawson?
That if I go undefeated, he's got to do that. Yeah, but if I don't go undefeated, and I don't have to do anything.
No, going undefeated is unheard of. I mean, we're literally...
The only way I would have to do that is if I had the lowest point total ever, but still won the Fox.
Well, we heard it here first. Adam Lawson, the bet is on the table. It's up to you if you want to follow through on it. So let's get to the final segment, power rankings. We were kind of just talking about consistency with owners. So far, you can't rank yourself. Who do you think has the best team? I mean, we could just do the debate. My brother's going to be 2-0. I know it hurts to say, but I mean, he's definitely, there. But Scott just had such a terrible week. I'm gonna say it though. I think Adam Lawson has the most consistent team right now. I think that every position of his is filled, and I think that it's gonna be hard to take down Lawson right now. I mean, even then, let's say Zeke goes down, he has Pollard to back him up. He has Devin Singletary, which did great. James White, which did great. Marvin Jones, which did great. I mean, Lawson is looking pretty right now, and if Deontay Johnson is hurt, then Claypool is gonna. That depth is coming into play, boys.
All about that depth, baby. I have to agree. I think Lawson obviously has the best team through 2 weeks. I think he scored the highest points, I want to say. I guess I want to say consistent points throughout both weeks. I think he scored like 118 last week and then 126 this week. So he's got a pretty good team. I was going to put David up there as well, but his team didn't perform as well as last week. But still reliable players he can rely on every single week. So I'd say probably those two.
Justin, have you done research yet?
I'm gonna go with Spencer Drees co-owned team. Is that are we allowed to pick that?
Yeah, you can totally do that. So my team.
I'm just kidding. Not yours. He's out of the league now, I believe.
Yeah, but he's coming back.
I still own the rights to him, so that's not allowed. I am gonna go with Jeff Hedges.
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to have a rough loss tonight. The only reason it's acceptable is because it's to me, and I believe I'm truly the best. So if you lose to the best, you can still be the best.
Wow. Not narcissistic at all. Now, who do you think is the worst team?
Oh, I don't want to answer that question. I think it's whoever loses tonight between Jeff Carr and James Weingarten is the worst team.
I talked about it already. My mind has changed so much within the beginning of the year, but pending this McCaffrey news, I mean, he seems like he's healthy, but man, if Scott, this is recency bias. I do not like Scott's team. Without Deontay Johnson and without Jerry Jeudy, it really puts his team in a bind. And Kittle is not playing well because San Fran's not playing well right now. I would say Scott. Or Steve. My bad, Steve. James, who you thinking?
I don't know. Every day I wake up and I look into the mirror, I look at my team, and it's just such a fucking roller coaster every week. Even though I scored a lot of points this week, 1/3 of my points came from one player, and that's terrifying. And none of my players are showing up, and I'm just going to admit it. I think it's me.
That is a bold take. And, I mean, a lot nicer than what Justin said. Well, right on, gents. Thank you for joining, and until next week.
comeback.
Jeff's pissed.
Dude, Jeff just lost.
Yep.
Oh,
no.
Wait. It's not
This
over
is-
yet.
This is the way
It's
BJ
over.
wins. Like, this is how he wins. He comes back and he wins these little weasel comebacks every time.
He needs 2 missed field goals in overtime.
2 missed field goals. I mean, I guess that's possible.
Or
just-
hear me out.
Guys, guys,
They hike it
Hey.
to the kicker and he throws an interception or he fumbles the ball.
I was just scared of being a nobody.
guys, I just got to tell you that Derek Carr is so good. He's the fucking best. He's so
You
good.
need to be happy about that kicker.
Austin, you're still gonna lose.
No doubt.
Went out the
Yeah, that kicker just
No doubt.